Well, I gotta do a real review this week, but forgive me. I am in a little bit of pain in the back of my tongue, so if I sound a little crazy, I apologize. But I gotta get this review for y'all. Anyway, y'all already know. Hit that like and that sub button for your boy. I'm back on X, so if you have an X account, I'll link it down in my description. Also, Discord link is down there, so if you want to join the conversation, we all around out here. Let's get into the chapter, right? So, Bomb has been basically like defeated. It's kind of like, one of those One Piece things where Luffy basically gets knocked out and gets back up type of thing. Bomb is down, and then we get to see the void within him. The space is humongous. It is a little off-putting that Bomb doesn't know how big the space is within him. I mean, my man, you consuming whole dragons and not knowing like you have the capacity to hold such things. It's not a big deal. I'm not one of those super duper looking into Bomb type things. I've always liked Bomb's power. I've always liked his ability to copy and take things. But it is a little weird that he doesn't know the space within him. But it is what it is. So, interestingly enough, we get a long conversation between him and Leviathan. And forgive me if I piece this around incorrectly. It's not because I'm thinking of it cohesively. I'm just thinking of the conversation they generally had. So Leviathan kind of reveals that the three water dragons. He gives some more details about them, about how they were created, and also what was given to them. Now, for those who have been trying to dispel my emotions and memory theory that I've had for the past couple months, we're walking in the right direction currently. So I'm gonna need y'all to walk y'all's back a little bit, okay? Leviathan made a clear distinction between memories and emotions. Now, there's also desire and power, but memories and emotions, which I've been talking about this for months now, that the whole family heads thing in Zahard, I've always said it was a manipulation between memories and emotions, one of them being removed or replaced. I'm not going to go back into detail about the theory. If you want me to make another video about it, I could. It's in one of the reviews. But basically, there is a difference between emotions and memories, and they're not synonymous. So I've been driving that home for a little while now, and it seems that we're walking on the right path here. Given that TRAUM has fed his dragons memories, emotions, desire, and power, and that allows you to shape and manipulate things the way you want, right? So it's also said that these things are kind of parts of TRAUM. So he kind of split himself off into different beings, right? A good comparison would kind of be like I guess Demon Slayer, the previous arc with the guy who had many different emotions, and he kind of had to fuse all of it together to become his ultimate self. So I'm not sure if that actually holds for TRAUM. Like, TRAUM not having Leviathan kind of nerfs him in a way. Like, if he has all his dragons, he's more powerful. That's an interesting concept, meaning that like the TRAUM version that we've seen now isn't his strongest version. I don't hate the idea of that. It's just that, knowing that he's been kind of nerfed this whole time, even though there hasn't anybody that really been to test his power besides Augustine, who's out to kill him, right? It's just a little interesting. Like, I wonder if like his Shin War Ryu gets more powerful if he has Leviathan with him. But just going into the Shin War Ryu thing, TRAUM Shin War Ryu is sort of like Bombs, which is weird because we know that Bombs is basically like being able to copy things and take things and destroy things, but TRAUM Shin War Ryu works as a space. So the way I imagine it, right? TRAUM space probably looks like a giant zookeeper place. Sort of like if you're familiar with the Harry Potter series, the Fantastic Beasts, kind of like Newt Scamander's case. Like, that's exactly how I imagine TRAUM space probably looks like, right? A bunch of animals tucked into a space where they all have their own area to do what they want. I think that's an interesting concept. But Bombs obviously is different because while he can hold animals, he can hold other things like souls, right? So, more insight into that is pretty cool. That bit was the most interesting within the chapter. I've already told you guys I'm not invested in this fight too much, but I will say that Bomb's new form, because he gets up off the ground and shows off his new form, it's cool in concept. I do not appreciate the design. It's not that cool that way. It's a little bit sloppy with the wings, which kind of make it pretty bad. I don't like the swirling the horns. I do like the Leviathan horns coming off the side of him. I think that's pretty decent, but he's not using them in a way where he's like striking with them. So I don't know how I feel about them now. They're kind of just for show. But as Bomb arises, he kind of, you know, when Bomb transforms into something, he gets that look in his eyes where his eyes kind of go low, like he's high. It's kind of the same thing, you know, that Hitman Reborn effect. Whenever you see Sunayoshi going to his form, he kind of lowers his eyes and gets really cool, and it allows him to take in how actually strong Dumas is. I guess it allows him to read his strength, and even with this new Leviathan form, he still can't take Dumas. This is said to him by himself. It gives more stock to Dumas on how actually powerful he is, and I'm not surprised. Like, Dumas is for sure like a top 30, top 40. Like, I'm not expecting, and I never expected Bomb to win this fight despite whatever forms he pull out. I don't care. I just always thought it'd be crazy for Bomb to defeat him. Leviathan does explain, which I kind of skipped over, that this power is granted from TRAUM. So I will say I don't like the idea of that. Bomb is somebody who doesn't earn a lot of the shit that he has. He just has shit. And this power is power that's given to him by Leviathan. So, you know, we are in need of a training arc. And I think, like, this has been mentioned for a while now. Like, Bomb is in need of a training arc. Kun and Rack, they're in need of a huge training arc. A lot of stuff that's been happening is a lot of given stuff, and I don't like the given stuff because it kind of dilutes, you know, a lot of the training that we did have originally. Obviously, like, Kun doesn't use the Ice Spear anymore. Rack has used his rock abilities, his earth abilities a little bit, but it's never like as rampant as I would like it. And Bomb is the only one who's only kind of used most of his stuff, right? Like, obviously, you know, being able to create orbs and things like that, right? But Leviathan, like, stated that this power he was holding back until he kind of was going to fight against TRAUM. But it's interesting that, like, if Bomb's not strong enough to beat Dumas, this power isn't enough to defeat, like, TRAUM. Like, and I would never expect it to. I would never expect one dragon being able to defeat, you know, TRAUM. So there must be some secret technique or something that goes along with this power. Now, I don't know if Bomb is even capable of combining, like, his thorns in this yet, because, like, we kind of haven't seen it against Dumas. And I was, like, thinking, like, maybe he just kind of had to run out of energy, because a couple of people have mentioned that before, that, you know, he had to run out of the thorns to get here. But it kind of, like, that's not the way this kind of works. Like, you know, the assumption has been for a couple people that Bomb needs to use everything before he can get into, you know, dark change mode, right? And we don't get dark change mode. We get Leviathan's form, which was kind of forced out of him, and it's only, like, for his survival. So it's different to me because the dark change mode is a last step. It has been mentioned as a last step, but we skipped to that. We skipped over that to get to a Leviathan form. So obviously they work differently. Again, to me, this hasn't been very cohesive. It is a lot of this power, that power, this power, that power, run out of power, use this, he's stronger than me. I've told you guys, this is, it's just not interesting. I hope the next chapter wraps this up with either a stalemate or, you know, Bomb losing, but Bomb losing doesn't make sense. So Kun will probably come back, or Rack will escape, or something will happen where they can basically shut Dumas down, get away from him. And I hope we start walking towards that, because again, this is just not it for me. So I know a lot of you guys enjoyed the chapter, enjoyed the forum. I'm not hating on you or any of that. I've been fed up with this. I've told you before, there's nothing that can really happen here that will make me interested unless, like, somebody else showed up or whatever. But this is it's cool in concept idea. I'm just not into it. So I'm hoping maybe we can wrap this up pretty soon. Maybe next two chapters. Maybe a POV change. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. But yeah, chapter to me is probably a 5.5, 6 out of 10. Let's just go with 6 for the sake of the art being a little bit better, and I was able to follow it a little bit better than last week. I don't want to give too much credit to this chapter and to last week. To me, this chapter was pretty long. I do give you credit for that, and the art for the fight was better. But I said this before and I'll say it again. Last week's chapter 624 and 623 should have been combined. It would have been better that way. And then dropping this long chapter, it would have been better cohesively. Like I try to explain to everybody the way I view things, and then the way things are released, it's a week to week to week thing. So it's hard for me to appreciate last week, where I hated last week for the most part. And now that we get this week's, it gives a little bit more context of what actually happened. I still don't feel good about last week, like because I sat through the bullshit. Y'all saw my review last week. It wasn't a review. So, does the chapter last week look a little better? I might bump it up a point, but that ship is pretty much sailed. But this week was a lot better. I do think some of the art was pretty cool. A lot of thumbnail and background worthy stuff. But yeah, guys, I thought I was going to stream today, but I'm probably not, obviously. I like to let you guys get your comments and stuff in. So, I will be streaming tomorrow. That is for Tower of God and T-Bait. I gotta try to work out my schedule. This week it was tough because of the holiday. I was planning on streaming today, but my work schedule is a little bit off whack and it's a shorter week. So I did not have time to really, edit and shoot. Because I've been hanging out with family and stuff. So, yeah, guys, stream will be tomorrow. T-Bait first, and then Tower of God. I will announce it, make sure that everybody knows 1 and 2. So, yeah, if you're looking to come chat, please join the Discord. Please check the description for the X account as well. I'm also on Instagram if anybody cares. Like, I post more personal stuff on Instagram. But if you want to follow me, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm a pretty much open book for the most part. So yeah, guys, stream tomorrow. Probably be around 2-3 o'clock. I'll let you guys know. Until then, I'll see you soon. Peace.